I'm Ellen Calabrese. I'm the Student Success Manager and Career Services here at Holberton School, Puerto Rico. And thank you so much to our community and partners for being here today, for being here online, and to the friends and family joining the live stream, welcome. To those joining online, as you may know, there's a meet and greet session following the presentations. So please stay on the call, and we'll be sending in some students to speak with you one-on-one and get to know their projects a little bit more. So in just a few short minutes, we'll be starting with the student presentations. And today, I'm very excited to announce 6 different students across 5 projects. And this isn't everybody who graduated this cohort, right? We have 14 total graduates celebrating the end of the program here at Holberton for this cohort. In addition to the 14 graduates from our software engineering intensive program, we also have 4 specialization grads. And for those who are unfamiliar with Holberton, we offer a 9-month software engineering intensive program, all right? Our previous graduates actually had a chance to complete a specialization program in either full stack development, AR, VR, cybersecurity, and machine learning. So in the past, we've had students continue on from the intensive program onto the specialization. And so we are thrilled to have 4 additional graduates from the specialization program who won't be presenting today. However, if you would like an introduction to any graduates who are not here presenting today, please contact me. I'm happy to put you in contact, and also happy to partner with you if you're deciding on starting an apprenticeship program or an internship program, even if you need a pipeline of candidates for recruiting, talk to me. I used to be a recruiter, so love talking to other recruiters, and I'm happy to help you build that pipeline and introduce you to our graduates. So back to the reason why we're here today. Our cohort 25 students who are presenting, right? Demo day is a really important day. They've all prepared extremely well and thoroughly this week, despite wondering why we ask for so many rehearsals. Now you know, right? But preparation will meet today with success, and I'm really, really excited for you all to graduate and most of all present these projects that you've worked so hard on. All right. So, as I mentioned, cohort 25 has worked extremely hard throughout the last 9 months, right? They started their Holberton journey in October of 2024, most of them. And in the last 9 months, they've learned programming from scratch. So most of our students come into Holberton without knowing how to code at all right? They start learning C programming. They learn how to develop in JavaScript, in Python, and more. They attend peer learning days with their software engineer education lead and tutors all across the island, here in San Juan, in Ponce, and in Aguadilla. During these peer learning sessions, they learn how to collaborate with other developers, how to learn how to code, right? That's part of the adventure. They also learned about the software development lifecycle. We know how important that is in a tech organization. They learned how to apply the SDLC in their project development. All right? Now, my job also here is to prepare them for their careers. So they learned how to prepare for their job search and practice their interview skills. Now, the reason why we're here today is they learned how to develop a web app, right? Learning the skills they've learned in the last 9 months, in addition to new technologies they chose. So they had to make all the tech decisions. They had to ideate the project from scratch. We weren't giving any ideas out. And so we're really, really proud of them for not only ideating the project, choosing the tech stack, and continuing through the project development and deployment. And you're going to see that today. So cohort 25 has amazing backgrounds. You'll see their coding skills today, but that's not where they began. Many of them have backgrounds before coming to Holberton. They come from medical manufacturing, education, medical technology, event marketing, customer service, administration. So they have careers before coming to Holberton, all these skills that can be brought to your organization. Now, who wants to meet these graduates and see their projects? All right. So as I mentioned before, we're going to reserve the questions for after the presentations for the meet and greet session in the back of the room. And once the presentations are over, everyone's welcome to go to the back of the room and meet with the students. We invite you to ask challenging questions, dig into their apps a little bit more, demo their applications as well, and get to know them. So we're looking forward to that. All right, with that, I'm excited to announce our first graduate, Judith Espinal, who will be presenting her final project.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm excited to present to you VitaPink Blood Bank, connecting donors and saving lives. My name is Judith Espinal Martinez, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I have a background in medical technology, and I studied in the Dominican Republic, and then I came back here to Puerto Rico. For this project, I work as a solo full-stack developer. But I could have done this without the help of my mentor, the help of my colleague in medical technology, and without the amazing staff and my colleagues here at Holberton Coding School. So why VitaPink Blood Bank? Because of the medical and tech background that I have and the fusion. It was inspired by the fusion I have and the passion that I have for coding and software engineer. It also, and obviously, if you didn't notice, I love the color pink. And this project was born to solve a real problem. We don't have enough tools to support blood donation, especially in places like here in Puerto Rico and in Dominican Republic. If we look into our phones and websites, there are a lot of applications about blood donations and blood banking in the United States. So we are making a little small step to change that. Our goal is to give users like you and me an access to a platform where we can have and learn and stay informed everything about blood donation. The idea was, we were talking, my teammate, Johanny Rosario, who is a medical technology, who is now specializing in blood banking in the Dominican Republic. And we were talking that we want users to know more about blood donation because people don't know what to do before giving blood to the people. So we want users to know where to donate, about what the kind of blood types there are, and what to do about where to donate and what to do before a donation. So our project was born before a real need, to educate and empower people to better understand this. We want VitaPink to allow users to create a profile, to create and track their donations. You will see this in the live video. And for future features, to receive reminders and later on to connect the database. And we want to be with the hospitals. We want a complete software to be in the hospitals and later on in the laboratories. Because our goal is to make blood donation information to have an easy access to users like you and me. So we will see here in the landing page, you can find your centers near you. For example, we are here in San Juan, and you can click here and Google Maps. For example, it would open Banco de Sangres, Servicios Mutuos in Atorrey. Then you can join our community and you can register as a new donor. So you can have the account information and enter your email, create a username and your password. Then you can access your personal information with your first name and last name and your phone number, birthday, gender, and your blood type. In this case, it's important to know your blood type. But if you don't know right now your blood type, you can have it easily in the laboratory. There is a lab test called blood type and group. So it's easy. Later on, this will be connected to the database, like I said before. So you don't need to worry about that in the future because the laboratory will have this information. So it will be connected. Then after you put in the information with your address, you need to, can you donate right now? Yes or no? Last donation date, if applicable, is not mandatory. Then you click register now, and you will have a registration successful. So you will have a home where you can see all your information. You can add a donation date and the donation center name. In this case, you can type or, where, like I did here, copy paste the name. And you can, the volume that you donated, in this case, I added a whole blood. I donated a whole blood and add a donation and show a history of all the donation that you had and see all the donation that you have made. The menu you can access from your home, the map from Google Maps, coming soon as settings, and the frequently asked questions that we always have before donations, and the badges that you can earn is my favorite feature from my application. And this is a previous demo of my application. You can later see later in the booth. So for the technologies, in the front end, I prefer to use React because it let me use a smooth and responsive and user-friendly interface, because for the time that I had, it was easier for me for users to have the interactive donation history and the profiles. For the backend, I prefer to use Flask with Python because it's lightweight, easier, and more efficient for me. And it let me manage the app's logic and to process the user data. And also, it helped me to connect with the database, which I use MySQL. It helped me to process the personal details of the user's information, to storage, and to organize all the blood types and the personal details and donation records to secure it very careful in my database. And for the tools, I use Docker. It helped me ensure the apps runs consistently and across different environments in my computer, and GitHub to help me track my code and manage the project version control. So let's explore a little bit about my challenges. If you can see here, they are all non-technicals. Because all my challenges here in Holberton, they were all non-technicals. Because when I started Holberton, I got a full-time software engineer job during my very first trimester. And even though it was a huge blessing and an unexpected achievement for me, it was very hard to stay on track with the whole curriculum these 9 months and with the final project in this last month that we have. So balancing work and studies, that meant no sleep at all, sacrificing my sleep, long hours of studies, organizing, learning to organize both my work and school hours. But even though it wasn't easy, with the help of God, someone special, the support of someone special for me, and the amazing staff that Holberton has, that helped me to stay focused and get to the finish line that I'm getting here today. And another challenge was learning and applying new technologies. Learning here and at work, learning at both places. So even though that was so hard for me, that didn't let me grow and to make me grow and to let me be the problem solver that I am. So as you can see here, this picture, it was of me graduating as the medical technologist that I am. And today I am excited to change that picture today, graduating as a software engineer. Don't forget to scan this creative QR code to see all my profiles where you can connect with me. And thank you for listening to me. And thank you. You can invite you later when all the presentations are finished so you can see VitaPink Blood Bank in my computer. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Carlos Valentin, and I'm presenting Tradebook, a high-performance trading journal designed to optimize traders' experience. So a little bit about me. I am the lead developer of Tradebook. I decided to go solo on this project because it fixes a problem that I was facing as a trader. And while I was in the development process, I figured out maybe other traders are having this problem too. For my technical background, I have almost 1 year of experience trading since I started Holberton, and I have over 2 years trading experience across different markets like futures and crypto. In my years of experience, I found out that there are three key points to become a profitable trader. The first one, you gotta be consistent. Like everything in life, you need to be disciplined and consistent to thrive in the markets. The second one, you need to control your emotions. Emotions are what drive money. So you can either win a lot or lose a lot. The third one, the number I got the hang of, is journaling. So the most common method of journaling, when you think about it, is writing down in a physical notebook. And I found that that didn't provide the actual insights and data I needed. So I found myself never going back to my journal pages. And I decided to try a few apps, but none of them give me the insights I really needed and the actual data I needed. So I decided to develop my own. I wanted Tradebook to be a platform that is easy to use. It provides valuable insights based on real data, and it's all in one place. So you don't need to be looking for pages of your past trades. For the tech stack, I decided to go with Python because it's flexible. And it gives me a lot of options for data manipulation libraries. And since I'm handling so much data, I thought Python was the way to go. I needed a fast framework for my backend, so I went with Fast API. And it had an easier learning curve than the Django. And for my database, I decided to go with PostgreSQL because of the strong relational models. For my front end, I went with React because I wanted a responsive framework, and in the future, I want to make this a mobile app. It's all containerized in Docker, and it is in the future going to be deployed using AWS. For this project, we had a 3 months timeline. The first month and a half, it was all planning and structuring, and the second month and a half, it was the development process. Somewhere around this development process, I started a new job. So it was very challenging for me to manage my time efficiently. Managing my time also brought other challenges. I had to cut back features. The original plan was that every time a new trade entry was made, an AI agent analyzed the traits and gave you optimization strategies, but I had to cut this back due to the time constraint. I had to research and learn new technologies, such as Fast API. I had never used Fast API before, so I learned it in the process of development. And making sure the whole app was functional. This was the hardest part, making sure all the database relations were connected correctly. What I learned that building an app is very complex. For me, my process started months before the actual project started here in Holberton. I was brainstorming since my second trimester what my idea was going to be. And I learned that you gotta take it easy and you know, think things through real good. How many setbacks happen? There are so many setbacks that happen in the process that you're not counting on, such as running out of API calls in the free tiers of external APIs. And the biggest one I learned is that a lot of times less is more. When you focus on the core functionality of your project and you cut back a lot of features and you make what you want to work fine, it's gonna work way better and you can keep adding stuff later on. So once you enter Tradebook, this is the first thing you'll see. You'll see a quick description of what Tradebook's about and a preview of how the dashboard looks like. Here I'm going to show you the quick sign-up process. So you hit the Get Started button. You fill out your basic credentials, name, last name, email, and password. And once you're done with this, you will get a quick questionnaire just to know what type of traders we are dealing with, and so the platform can provide a more individualized experience. Here you'll see the questionnaire. The first question is, what's your trading experience? We want to know what we're dealing with here. What type of markets you trade. Also, what's your starting capital? So you can get this from your broker. Basically, what's your capital right now? Your funding status. This is designed for any type of trader. What's your daily risk tolerance in percentage? And how many trading accounts you have. Once this is done, it takes you straight to the dashboard where you can see your current balance. There's the Add Trade button, which is going to be used to add new trade entries. There's a market overview section, which is fully customizable, and you add the symbols you want. And there's the latest market news. Then, this is your trades page where you will see all your past trades and basic metrics at the top. The metrics page right now is empty because the user has no data in it. And the import and export page, which you can import data from your broker and export data so you can do your own analysis. This is how the Add New Trade form looks like. You put your symbol, it automatically classifies it for its asset class. You put your open price, close price, quantity, position type, order type, basically every single piece of information the platform needs to do a correct analysis. And once it's full of data, this is how your metrics page look. You got your KPIs, you got your equity curve chart, your profitability analysis section, consistency and behavior, and the one that I wanted the most is your performance by day of the week and time of the day. This is what the physical journal didn't give me. This is the information I wanted. So thank you guys for your time. You can scan the QR code. You'll find my email and my LinkedIn and a quick form you can fill out to get notified once Tradebook is deployed. You can visit my booth so you can demo the platform. And once again, thank you guys.
¿Se escucha? Good morning, everyone. Thank you all of you for being here today. I'm excited to present our product, MechLink, a car app designed to find the right workshop right nearby and to never miss a service. Now let me introduce our team and our respective role.
Hi, I'm Joran Horta, and I serve as a backend developer, architecting the Fast API system and database infrastructure.
While I, Emmanuel Mendoza, focus on the front end, dealing with the interface of the app and seamless user experience.
As a team, we all share a genuine passion for the automotive world, from conversation about our own cars and experience we had. We realized that we all have faced the same frustrating challenge, finding a trustworthy mechanic in Puerto Rico. The inspiration behind MechLink was rooted in addressing this real-world need. We identified an opportunity to create a digital solution that connect users and auto shops within Puerto Rico. We saw a need for a platform that combines the convenience of a modern web application with this real-world need. This project reflects our passion for full stack development and our commitment to resolve problems through technology and creating this functional web application for our Puerto Rican community.
So yeah, for the MechLink architecture, we divided the project into two tasks, for the front end and for the back end. For the back end, we did use Python with Fast API because of its efficiency and the automatic API documentation. We also use SQL Alchemy for the complex data models and SQLite for the databases. To the front end, we did use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React.js for the seamless user integration to the interfaces and to connect it to the Fast API backend. The tools that we did use for the project were Trello to maintain our time and set our goals and our objectives. We did use GitHub has the source control to keep our code and do the push and pull requests. We also did use AI Cloud for debugging as our tool. And yeah.
As we developed MechLink project, we came across several front-end and back-end problems that help us become better at solving challenges.
So yeah, for the front end, I did face some challenges to connect the front end with the Fast API backend because it gave me a lot of errors and trouble with the HTTPS and codes, and the loading data. So to solve this, I did use a token manager, which was capable of managing all the errors and handling the core process of the application.
On the back end, I deal with database relationships, the managing relationships, interconnection between users, vehicles, appointments, and workshop using SQL Alchemy. For this, I fixed this with a clear database infrastructure. And for the notification, I use API Scheduler, which processes the notification automatically.
So yeah, now we are excited to showcase our project. Here we can see if it's your first time, you will have to sign up, put all your credentials. When you put all your credentials, you will be guided to the dashboard. Just wait a second. Yeah, you will be guided to the dashboard, and you will have to put the desired location that you desire to go, and you can also choose the type of service that you want, and it will show you in the dashboard list the service that you pick.
As we can see here, the user can register their vehicle with model, license plate, current mileage, color, and other. And when he has the vehicle registered successfully, he can interact with any workshop available. Also, he can create an appointment with any workshop available. Here. can see. And when the appointment is successfully confirmed, we can see the notification and we can see the history of the vehicle and also reschedule the appointment. And finally, if you want to save your nearest mechanic, you can save in the favorites area. That concludes our presentation of MechLink. If you have any question about our technical implementation or want to connect us professionally, you can visit us our booth or scan the QR code provided. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I would like to welcome you to Holberton San Juan, and my name is Willie J. Tuse Castellar. I'm here to present a project near and dear to my heart called Borinquest. It is an experience made with code, culture, and creativity. This was a true two-person quest. Hector and I took on the challenge together to bring this creation to life. I managed the art, the designs, the UX designs, and the background art. Hector built the engine, the logic, the inventory, and the scene builder. We played to our strengths, like co-directors of an interactive film. Borinquest is inspired by classic adventure games, Choose Your Path adventure books, browser-based online games, and old-school point-and-click interactive experiences. We imagined a game where your choices matter and the world reacts to you. We kept it simple and powerful. No dependencies, no frameworks, just HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript. Our engine manages logic, sound, dynamic storytelling, and inventory. Here's some of the art featured in our interactive experience. On our first slide, you'll see the background art, which is made by hand. In the interactive experience itself, it'll be a different version, enhanced with AI. In the following slide, you'll see our UX elements, assets, and characters that you'll meet in the experience. Creating a branching story with memory and logic is not a simple task. We had to make sure it ran, that it did not repeat what you experienced, that it tracked your status, that it unlocked paths, and more. We use technologies like show once, mark complete, and player memory for that. Here's a sample. As you see, the player will either sign in with an email of their own, or they will log in if they already possess an account. There is a chat feature in which players can interact with each other. One is asking the other about a problem they're having in the game, and the other one's helping without spoiling. And with that, the player knows to collect the key. The key is added to the inventory, and with a key in the inventory, utilized with the car, it'll unlock the first stage. It is based on El Morro. Here, right here in San Juan, right where we are. Here our first character greets you to the stage and grants you access to the rest of the level. The second character will brief you on facts and historical lore. The second will help you learn about a key mechanic, which allows you to combine items. And the last will test your knowledge based on what you've learned in the game. Thank you for your time. You can scan my QR to find out more about our code or us. And if you need to know more or want to try out the experience for yourselves, you can join me at my booth after the event. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Diego Diaz. Today, I'm really excited to introduce Aegis Lens. This project was built on a simple but powerful idea, to go beyond detection and provide true understanding in the fight against phishing. Phishing is a well-known problem which causes legitimate financial and data security risks. Aside from URL identification, I wanted to tackle the black box problem. Most security tools provide a simple safe or unsafe verdict without any explanation. This can create a trust gap between the users and the software. Without understanding why a URL is flagged, users can't learn and analysts can't make informed decisions. This gap is exactly what Aegis Lens was designed to overcome. Aegis Lens is a tool that provides more than just a verdict. It provides a verdict with understanding. My vision was to create an AI-powered tool that provides a visual explanation for each of its decisions. I achieved this by integrating a powerful predictive agent with a state-of-the-art explainability framework. So how does it work? In the main application page, the first thing we'll see is some general information about the app itself, along with some limitations to the analysis. If we want to see more information, we can click on the Understanding Our Analysis drop box, where we can see some information on how the analysis works, known limitations about the model, and the app's indicators for each verdict. So why don't we try out a known malicious link taken from fishtank.com. We can scroll down to the text box, paste or write our URL, and click the Analyze button. In a couple seconds, we'll get a verdict, an initial verdict, and initial notifications on what the analysis is. For the case of this URL, we can see that it's a high-risk link, which means it's likely phishing, along with some confidence scores and some recommendations on how to interact with it. But down here in the technical analysis is where Aegis Lens truly shines. This plot represents our explanation. The features in red are what contributed to the link being classified as phishing or a high risk. The magnitude or the length of each arrow is how each feature contributed to this decision. And if we want to see what exactly the model looked at, we can scroll a little bit lower and click on the Show All Features drop-down menu, and we'll see the quantifiable aspects that the model looked at. Now, why don't we try a legitimate URL? Let's say google.com. We'll follow the same process. We'll go down to the text box, write down our link, and click Analyze. For the case of the Google domain, it's in our trusted allow list, which means we'll get a quick verdict. But if we want to see a complete analysis, we can click on the Force Analysis button over here, and then click Analyze one more time. As we can see, it's a low risk, which means it's probably legitimate. And same as before, we'll go down to the technical analysis, where this time we can see that the features in blue are what contributed to this analysis. Same as before, we can see exactly the same thing that the model looked at in the Show All Features dropdown. And this is what I mean by true understanding. Users can get an inside look at what the model looked at and what decisions it made in order to make this final prediction. So, what's the magic behind this technology? First was the rigorous model selection, in which I used Python, scikit-learn, and pandas in order to conduct several showdowns between 4 machine learning models in order to pick the highest performing one. The champion was a random forest classifier, which provided a fantastic combination of high accuracy, precision, and recall. In order to interact with possibly malicious sites, I decided to use Cloudflare workers, which call upon the browserless I/O API to securely extract the URL's HTML. Our explanations come from the Nobel Prize-winning framework called Shapley Additive Explanations, or SHAP for short. This framework serves as the translator for the model's logic, which provides the explanation on how each feature contributed to the final decision. This powerful backend is then wrapped in a responsive and clean web application using Streamlit, which itself is containerized using Docker and hosted at the fantastic services at disco.cloud. As of today, the Aegis Lens MVP is 100% feature complete. I delivered a high-fidelity predictive model with an integrated state-of-the-art explainability layer, which was the core goal of this project. I also created an clean interface in order to provide accessible and easy access to the technology. While the MVP was a success, I did face several challenges along the way, but it provided a clear view on the road ahead for the application. The main challenge was counteracting modern phishing evasion techniques. Modern malicious sites can use scripts or services which block the model's analysis and forces it to rely exclusively on the model's URL patterns. I also needed to be strategic on how to handle false positive from legitimate sites, which is why I decided to create the allow list, or the white list, which contains around 40 of major trusted domains. Because I'm interacting with possibly malicious link, I wanted to isolate every interaction with them from the system itself, which is why I decided to use the Cloudflare workers and the browserless I/O API. Looking ahead, I want to see how more advanced machine learning models such as neural networks and support vector machines interact in this environment and what decisions they make. I also plan on integrating phishing email analysis in order to broaden the protective scope of the application. And I want to create a robust API in order to allow its integration with enterprise-level firewalls and network security tools. With Aegis Lens, I've shown that it's possible to move beyond simple detection and provide true, actionable understanding. If you'd like, feel free to scan the QR code, where you'll find links to my LinkedIn, my GitHub, and most importantly, the app itself in order to try it. If you have any questions about the app, I'll be happy to answer them in the booth in the back. And I really appreciate your time today. Thank you.
All right, so how were those presentations? Great job, everyone. And thank you so much for all your effort, all your preparation today and this week. It really shows, and we're really excited for you as you start your career in tech, right? So this is the time where we invite everybody to the meet and greet area in the back of the room, where you can challenge everyone's projects, ask questions, and get to know their demos a little bit better. For the folks online, we're going to be setting up the first graduate to speak with you just in 2 minutes. So if you could hold tight for just a little bit, I'll be right there. And thank you so much for everyone being here and for your attention. I hope you enjoyed the presentations, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the event.